Hello everyone. Today we're working with a 1995 Ford Ranger. It's extended cab, 4-wheel drive, modern stickers. Extended cab. It's 4.0 4-wheel drive, and it currently has an automatic transmission sitting in it. Automatic transmission is no count. It's a third transmission that I have put in this year. So 25-year-old truck and 26 years, I guess now. With that age on it, it's hard to find a used automatic transmission that still has, life left in it. That's actually worth something. So at least I've had a terrible time trying to find a good transmission that was used for it. So that being said, I'm going to convert it to manual transmission. Here's the question of what does it take to convert an automatic transmission to manual transmission? Obviously, you're going to need a clutch pedal. You're going to need a manual transmission. And then what kind of transmissions would fit in this particular model? So obviously, I've never done a swap quite like this before, although, it seemed pretty straightforward and seemed pretty doable. I mean, I just changed the transmission out 3 times in the past year, so I'm pretty familiar with taking transmissions out and putting them back in, especially in this truck. So, I hit up forums. I tried to stay away from Facebook too much. The reason being is a lot of people are idiots and they try to comment on things. They really don't know what they're talking about because they like to waste people's time. So forums, not saying there's not people that like to BS on there, but usually there's less of them. And usually there's more people that are more knowledgeable. I know I need a flywheel versus a flex plate. So I just started researching the forums. So what transmissions will fit? That was my number one question of what, if I'm looking at a junkyard and I find an 88 Ranger, will it fit on my 95? Will it bolt to the 4.0 if it's behind a 2.8 or a 2.9? Or will a 3.0 Ranger fit? If it's, will a 3.0 Ranger have the same bolt pattern? According to Wikipedia, the 3.0 does not. The 2.0 does not. So you have to find with a 4.0 liter engine in a Ford Ranger, you're going to have the same bell housing transmission out of a 4.0. 4.0 has its own bell housing. Now, the 2.9 and the 2.8, this is according to some of the forums that I had read, they share the bell housing with the 4.0. However, the FM145 transmission that was with the 2.8 and the FM146 transmission that was behind a 2.9 fuel injection were weaker transmissions than the M50D that came in the 95 model with an overhead valve engine. And so I've done a lot of research, and I thought I would make this video to maybe help somebody else, because I'm sure I'm not the only person that's decided to put a 5-speed in replace of an automatic because they're fed up with electronics. And, I picked up that for $85. I bought a M50D out of a 95 Ford Ranger, so it is actually a transmission that fits it. Transmission and transfer case, bought it as a unit. I think the transfer case is more than a transmission. The transfer case was like $95. Anyway, I bought it as a unit, and we will put that in there. Now, I will say, a couple weeks ago, I had bought a 95 Ford Ranger, and it came with, it had a 2.9, a 2.3 liter, 4-cylinder, 2-wheel drive, 5-speed. The 5-speed was trashed in it. The motor was supposed to run. I don't know if it did. I never heard it. Battery was dead. It's just a junk truck. Okay, picked it up for not much at all. Basically scrap price. And I pulled out, let's see. I got my clutch assembly out of it. And also got the steering wheel cover trim and I got my safety neutral switch. I'm gonna have to figure out how to wire up the safety neutral switch, but I got it wired up. And then I went to AutoZone and I bought my flywheel and clutch kit. Okay, so all this is the flywheel was like 70 bucks from Napa. This clutch kit was I don't know, $300 to $400. I think it gave almost $400 for the clutch kit and the cylinders kit. So like it came with the reservoir, master cylinder, and slave cylinder, and all the, it was a pre-bled system. So it's just put it in and go. So that's basically that takes care of the actual manual part of it, the mechanics of it. The electronic part of it, well, I wanted an ECM out of a manual transmission because I didn't want it throwing transmission codes. And I wanted my cruise control work. Also went to another place and I bought an ECM. This ECM came out of a Ford Ranger with a 4.0. It was two-wheel drive manual. Okay, so the only thing the ECM controls on these is the engine and transmission. Your transfer case is controlled by another unit. What I'd done was I went to, when I pulled the transmission out of the parts truck at Pull Apart, I also got a wiring harness and this is the wiring harness. This plugs into your engine, just an engine harness. And then down here, this plug right here, that plugs into your, it has one plug on the transmission, and that's what it goes to. Oxygen sensor, and then at the end of your transfer case, that is where your speed sensor is. So it plugs it all in. So that is what I've got. That's what I got going on, and I hope this video helps somebody that's looking to do the swap. Maybe you can find some information, or the information that I've given helpful. Now, I've never done this swap before, but now that I'm working with everything that came out of the same year model truck, we shouldn't have any issues. It should just be a bolt in, bolt off, plug up, plug out type system. It should be a pretty straightforward, simple project. So I've said a lot of things and probably talked your ears off, but I appreciate you listening. Hopefully you can find this information helpful, and I will be doing more videos. This is just part one. This is kind of going over what's going to be done in the next few days, the next few weeks. I'm just working on it when I can. I'm not really got a set date when it has to be done. It's not my main vehicle that I have to drive. You know, I've got other vehicles. So yeah, so this will be a fun little project, and hopefully I can learn something and y'all can learn along the way with me. So anyway, we will catch y'all next video. We'll be looking for part 2 because it will be coming, and then that'll be part 2 will be the more interesting parts because we're actually getting under the truck and doing the work and showing you all, you know, step by step what I'm doing. So anyway, stay tuned. Catch y'all next video. Bye.